7-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. No going back. That's the track. What's up and down?
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? How are we doing? Oop, disappeared. Sorry about that. I can't cover the camera. How are we doing today? Yes, I am Michael Caraccinuto at Diablo005 _ on X, artificially known as Twitter. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, my IG. I know I never told you that, right? You can go to the wonderful world of IG, and it's at Michael.Caraccinuto.5. So, yeah, dot between the first and last name, then a .5, and guess what? Bam, there you are, all hooked up on the IG. You can watch there as well. So, hold on, sorry. Anyway, yes, and last but not least, Pitchfork Lunches, the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, right? You know how to get there, and watch live. But guys, don't forget, do subscribe, because you have missed, not you can, well, you can miss, but you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, whether it be coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum. It is all there. And speaking of analysts, I gotta get with I want to get with an analyst about a certain hire who we heard from Graham Rossini. Haven't really had a launching press conference yet, but a lot of ASU hoops, Spence Hoops, Randy Bennett topping the Big 12 in transfer portal class. So that is pretty money, my friends, as you guys know. There's very, very money in what he has done, and his coaching staff too. We've talked a little bit about that, but going to reach out to an analyst. Speaking of which, but yeah, so, well, hold on, let me get that. So yes, you've missed all that on YouTube, but you missed all of that, but you can go to YouTube, you can subscribe, which is awesome, because you can go back, and when the new Pitchfork Lunchers forks up, I'm glad you're here, new Pitchfork Lunchers, my veteran Pitchfork Lunchers. I was going to say, you absolutely know I am stoked you are here for the show today. But you know what I'm going to say to the newbies? Like, yes, I'm stoked you're here, but shame on you. Where have you been? Because when I say you missed a plethora, that means you need to go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, because you need to binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3. This is season 3 here. Binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. And we're at the point now, by the time the fall starts, you'll be all caught up. You'll be all caught up and rolling into season 4. So again, it's one of those things where, like I said, there is a lot there that you have missed. And when people come on, like yesterday, we had the phenomenal Sun Devil defensive line coach, Dyron Reynolds, joining us. And yes, of course, we talked spring ball. We talked, obviously about the recruiting trail. But, just, again, picking his brain about certain things, just, yes, football, but, chatting with him, keeping it different. So you miss Coach Reynolds, but like I say, shame on you, but I got you covered, because you can go to YouTube. You guys know how to get there. You see my name, Michael Caraccinuto, and my page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And type it in all caps, because for some reason, or if you type my name in, you see it. But yeah, some people said they had issues with finding, or like it didn't pop up. Something else popped up. So that was that. So that in and of itself is always frustrating, but it's So yes, when you do go to YouTube and you subscribe to all that, you can get all caught up. But do watch live. Go there and watch live. Again, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC 005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. So, yes, subscribe to the YouTube and get all caught up. But like I mentioned yesterday, you guys know this. We did talk to defensive line coach Dyron Reynolds. If you missed it again, it was the conversation went a little long, but it didn't seem like it, which was the awesome part. It did not seem like that whatsoever at all. And it's one of those things where talking to Coach Reynolds yesterday, like you said, the young guys and the freshmen, and that's, and I've asked a lot of the coaches that. It's one of those things where, like, coming in for the spring, if you can get in for spring ball, we've talked about it here, guys, on Pitchfork Lunch. I mean, it is a huge advantage. We know that. But it's like, you work, and they're going to keep working out. And I'm sure, their high school has spring ball, and, got to do stuff. But I remember a lot of, when I was in high school, my senior year, again, when they had spring ball, even though we were done, I was as a senior, if you was, went out there and still, talking to some of the, other players, chucking the ball around, just running, if it, not getting in the way, but, if you can, run certain things. And, yeah, it's one of those things where it is awesome to come early, to come into college early, and you kind of get rid of the deer in headlights, like I said, going through campus and, the practice schedule. Like I said to Coach Reynolds, sitting in that film room for the first time, it's not, and again, in high school, yes, you do watch film, but we all know it's not to the level of college, and from college to pro. I mean, there's just that a little bit more. And yeah, a lot of guys in college are already film, just absolutely film beasts, film junkies, warriors, however you want to slice it up. But yeah, I loved, again, talking to Coach Reynolds, and it was just, like I said, I'm excited for this defensive line. I mean, I didn't even mention Jalen Thompson, the transfer that came in, and like you said, there's quite a few, obviously 40, 45 new faces that came in through the transfer portal. And then there's, the freshman that came in too. And like you said, a guy like a Julian Hugo, and in the secondary too, because he's obviously coach line, but Daquan Dunn in the secondary, a freshman that definitely started as spring ball went on, definitely flashed. So that, my friends, in and of itself, money. But yeah, it's just it's always interesting to me. Like, but that aspect of it, like I said, when when a lot of us were in high school, not just me, yes, some players would be like, oh yeah, and granted, they wouldn't be, sometimes if they go into college in the spring, you figure colleges end before high schools anyway, so they would come back and walk. Some did, some didn't. They were, especially if again, maybe they went out of state and they're just it's one of those things. But at the same time, like, yeah, it's like they work hard, but again, it's a jump. And you heard Coach Dillingham talking. Obviously, Jake Fetty got to practice with them because he was an early enrollee. And in the spring, but you guys remember, I was going to say, Jake Fetty got to practice with them, at the Sun Bowl because he's from El Paso. So just kind of rolled out of his bed, went over to the facility. But I mean, it's just, again, absolutely awesome to see it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's and I asked him, because you're a parent too. So as a parent, but it's again, if you can do it, it's good. But, and even if and if you can't, again, it's not, they recruited you for a reason. So yeah, I mean, when you start fall camp, I mean, they'll get here for the summer, they'll be in June, they'll start looking, they're looking at the playbook, they're looking at film, and players can go out and obviously work on their own. Obviously the strength coaches, Coach Joe can be there. And, they're in the weight room, but they can be out in the field together, just obviously not with coaches. Coaches can't be out there. But again, in this day and age of a lot of these things are archaic. Well, the recruiting thing is archaic too, because like I said, that's why I said to Coach Reynolds yesterday, Pitchfork Lunchers, you were here. I was like, I'm not going to ask you who. I've seen things. I know you can't talk about it. We don't need to get you a slap on the wrist, because everybody else can talk about how awesome the great Coach Reynolds came and talked to me, and I got an offer, and this person, that person. Everybody else can say it, but the coach mentions a person's name, and it's just dumb. It's absolutely dumb. But I digress. We're not going down that rabbit hole again today or again. We might go down at some point again, but not today. So yeah, but that defensive line, like he said, guys, because again, it kind of had a bounce as our conversation went joyously longer. But that defensive line, again, and the linebackers too, because again, Jordan Crook, gone. Keyshawn Elliott, obviously gone. Cyrus Fiesau, who is a father, and remember I said earlier, a few weeks back, congratulations to him, has a son who's absolutely just adorable. I got to get him on. I got to reach out. Should have said that. Anyway, okay, sorry, thinking out loud, scheduling out loud. But that, him being back, Martell Hughes, another year under his belt, Tristan Bacon. And man, I say this, Prayer, young black goat, looked, he's growing each year. And you heard me ask Coach Coop about it. We played Coach Coop's sound after spring practice that day. Again, subscribe to YouTube. You can catch up on all of that. But I mean, just his growth, and you see it, and man, it's it is a treat, my friends. It is a treat. I will say that, because yeah, that team, I mean, the way these linebackers, are playing again for Coach Coop, it's awesome. And, there's some new additions as well, in the linebacker room. And it is absolutely awesome, my friends, because they, Mr. I'm always around the ball. You guys remember that? Sorry, I was trying to wait. Linebacker room, again, Tristan Bacon. I mean, he's grown. Another, grown, but just, and I never. Yeah, obviously stuff came up, but I got to ask Coach Joe, because remember Coach Coop said that Tristan Bacon may have had the best. Yeah, Tristan Bacon, he said, may have had the best offseason. And, that doesn't surprise me. Owen Long, the linebacker, is transferring from Colorado State, always around the ball. So, again, go to YouTube, subscribe, watch, listen to Coach Reynolds. But I'm going to step aside real quick. When we get back, we're going to dive into tennis. You saw it on the way in. Recap, again, they lost in regionals to old Pac-10, Pac-12 foe, UCLA 4-3. But man, Jamia Jackson, whew. Yes, we were supposed to have Pauline Ellis on today. Schedules changed because she is graduating. She's got graduation going on. So she had to do some stuff for that. But we're going to do it. She said we'll do it after graduation not a problem at all. So we will catch up with the goalie, see what she's doing, and get to talk a little World Cup. So that in and of itself is awesome. But again, unfortunately, not today. And like I said, schedule's changing on Pitchfork once we roll. And I know I was teasing, not for Pauly, but some other people like, oh, if I was just the Pitchfork Lunch network, big time network, this wouldn't happen. But no, but Pauly, again, his graduation, forks up to Pauly. She's been nothing but, again, if you didn't get to see her on the pitch, again, you missed out. But neither here nor there. So I'll step aside real quick. When we get back, we'll wrap up tennis. We'll hear from Jamia Jackson and the newcomer of the year also in the Big 12. So we'll step aside, have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratuno at Diablo005 underscore on X, formerly known as Twitter. IG at Michael.Caratuno.5. You can check us out live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. And as well, last but not least, Pitchfork Lunchers. You know what, Forks Up, my YouTube channel. Again, Forks Up to the new subscribers that have come in recently. Looking for just one more every day. One more every day. Send it to your Sun Devil friends. One more every day. That being said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, all in caps, M, V, and C, all in caps 005. So yes, as I promised you, we are going to hear from Jamia Jackson, the second-year head coach for women's tennis, who, again, came from Princeton, has done such a phenomenal job. Yeah. And kept Coach McInerney's just dominance, culture. I mean, bringing her like her own, but just the culture of like winning and where they go and regionals and all that stuff, going to the postseason. It's insanely phenomenal. Yeah, it is awesome. So she has done that. And we're going to hear from her very shortly. Again, it was 4-3 against UCLA, just such a phenomenal match. I showed you she has done, again, like I said, kept it going. And I always say, you'll hear what she says here, because she said something very interesting, obviously taking over Coach McInerney. But yeah, well, and we'll talk about that all the time too. But she's also joined by the Big 12 newcomer of the year, who had a phenomenal season. A little emotional, obviously, after Sunday, but her and Coach, again, talking to us. And like you said, we're aiming to talk to Coach tomorrow. So, again, a lot more to get to. Obviously, her ties with time back at Princeton. But, yeah, just absolutely awesome. So, going to let them take it. Going to let Coach Jackson and Vivian Ovrutsky take it away. Again, she is she's a senior transfer from Texas, and again, just had a hell of a year, won a lot. Like I said, you're not going to become the Big 12 newcomer of the year. It just doesn't have to be a freshman to do it. So she knocked it out of the park. This season, again, was phenomenal for them. So, yeah. But let's get right to it. Here is Coach Jackson and Vivian Ovrutsky after Saturday, just falling to UCLA 4-3. Just right there. But this program again is, look, Coach McInerney started here, and in those 40 years, it just it didn't go like this. It started, and Coach McInerney this and this and this and this, and postseason. See, I'm off the screen now. But you know what I'm getting at, Pitchfork Lunchers. So yes, but yeah, let's hear from Coach Jackson and Vivian Ovrutsky.
I would not.
Start, I guess. Congrats on the season. A lot of great stuff. It's always sad when the season ends, but you guys were really fighting till the very end. So, Coach, I'll ask you first. What did you see from the team in terms of grit and persistence today?
Yeah, I mean, I think that once we really dug in, in the singles, like it could have gone either way, you know. And there's so many momentum swings in a match like this, except for in her match, which, like, you know, she wrapped up in lickety split. Yeah, exactly. Other than that, you know, there's so many twists and turns, and the kids, they never gave up, you know, even to the last moment. You know, that very easily could have been 5-all, and we're still in the battle, and we're still fighting, despite all of that. They're a tough team, and have a lot of grit and have a lot of experience, and I think that experience kind of outed just enough in the end to swing things in their favor. But I'm definitely super proud of how the girls fought and showed up for the home crowd.
I mean, you took care of business. I mean, you could have said it. Like, you know, you ended your college career on a win. Is this what you envisioned the end of the college career looking like?
No. You know, you never really know what the end is going to look like, and it was a rough 2 weeks, like, not playing matches. I feel like my mind was like, oh, it's going to end, and I don't want it to end. But, you know, I talked with Jimmy, and she helped me out. I had to be vulnerable, and she told me, it's like, you want to go out on your own terms. So no matter what, just show up for your, like, do the best that you can for yourself, and that's what I did today. And I didn't know if it was going to be the end or not today, but, you know, as much as it sucks, I think I'm happy to go out the way I wanted to go out.
Can you guys just, I mean, for either of you or for both of you, but, you know, obviously, as Harrison mentioned, it was a very successful season. You know, you were 20-6 on the season. You're now tied for third in program history for wins. So can you kind of speak to the whole season?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny when you're in it. You know, you can lose sight of kind of all of those metrics that you just mentioned. I guess, like, as the coach who, like, tries to keep the big picture, you know, if you would have told me kind of when the season kicked off, you know, that we would be a top 16 team, that we'd be hosting, that we'd win Big 12s, I would be like, yeah, I'll take that, you know. And so I think that pretty much sums up how I feel about this season. I think it was a definitely 1 or 2 or 3 steps in the right direction. You know, I think we are competitors, and so obviously, like, we want more. But in reality, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen overnight. It comes tough, you know, and that's the beauty of it. That's why, I mean, everybody wants it, right? So you're gonna have to really, really leave it all out there, and so that's what we'll do next season. We'll come back fighting.
Sorry, Coach. How much? And for both you can answer. So yesterday, I know we talked about, you know, the coaches here, and I know Coach, you know, Van Neal was here again today. Coach Missy Farquet was here today too. But I mean, it's electricity. I know, when obviously as a program, when teams are just winning in general, but when you're kind of like you just talked about, getting on that train this year and doing that, how fun is the electricity just around campus and around the team?
Yeah. Do you want to take that one?
Well, I don't spend that much time around campus, so
she's
I don't
a grad.
really know.
She's post-grad.
But it's always nice, like, when you're doing, like, your team is being successful, like, you kind of have this little chip on your shoulder, and you walk around with a little bit more swagger, a little bit more confidence, like, yeah, like, we're Big 12 champs, like, you know, holding on us. So, you know, I feel like it feels great, but at the same time, you have to, like, reel it back in and realize, like, okay, cool, we got it, but, like, there's so much more that we can achieve. So it needs to find that balance of celebrating the wins, but then also locking back in for the remainder of the time.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think I've been here for, you know, 2 full seasons now, and to be honest, like, the fall sports are killing it. I mean, they're killing it. The first year here with football, JJ, the other JJ, you know, the more successful JJ at this point. Like, they are setting the bar so high. You know, Missy's got rings galore, you know. So I think that that's the beauty of being in this environment. I've been, like, inside of college and outside of college in the tennis world, and tennis is usually so singular that, like, you know, the people who are pushing you are your, like, ops, you know. And here the people who are pushing you are on your team, you know, and they're coming out on, you know, these guys travel so much, and they're going to come out and spend a Saturday here, you know, back at work, really, back at school to cheer on the Devils. You know, Sheila's here. I mean, the level of success at this school is just astounding. And I mean, everyone knows the Sun Devils. Like, I'm from the East, you know, and so I know the Sun Devils, but like, you don't know how much success is like the programs at this school are just amassing. And I think the way we push each other and the way we support each other has a lot to do with that. I don't think I've ever had so many coaches come out to a match I've played at any school, and I don't think there's words to like explain how grateful I am for that, for the support, and also like they're killing it, man. And I think it's pushing us to be better for sure.
Jamia, ever since you got here, I mean, this program has just kept ascending into national relevance, like Big 12 champs, Big 12 newcomer of the year, Big 12 player of the year. So what's gone into this kind of program renovation almost from your part?
I think you should take that because you've been a big part of that.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. You know, obviously I came into a program with such strong bones already, which is super rare. Most of the times when you're coming into a program, you are, you know, it's because something went wrong, you know, and that 100% was not the case here. So I definitely had a head start, kind of coming in on the back of, or, you know, on the shoulders, let's say, of what Sheila had built. Definitely. Unbelievable team culture, unbelievable just grounds for success here. And I had kind of done it at Princeton, like kind of built a team up there. So I think I knew what it was going to look like. And so it wasn't as hard, I guess, because it was still a lot of work, but it wasn't the first time. What I think that we are adding to what was already so strong here is just even more grit, you know? And I think that I would have loved to go to Georgia this year, just because that's an environment that the girls haven't yet experienced, you know, and I think it would have been eye-opening for them, but I think today was eye-opening for them as well. And we'll build next year on these experiences. And you got to be in these experiences most of the time to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that you get. And so, yeah, being gritty, embracing the opportunities, and just looking for more, I think has made a big difference in these past couple of years. I don't know if I answered your question, but okay. Sorry about that.
Anyone else? No? All right, thank you.
Oh, are you good?
Can I get one more?
Yeah.
One more? Okay.
Vivian, you talked about how, you know, it didn't necessarily end how you wanted it to, but can you kind of, as well as I asked Jamia, just kind of speak on the whole season as a whole, you know, as your final season in college and everything like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I competed 3 years, spent 4 years at the University of Texas, and, you know, as much as it's a prestigious school, but I honestly lost a little bit of that passion for the sport, a little bit of that love. And I mean, it came with an injury, second guessing myself whether it was worth coming back or not. And, you know, it was a blessing in disguise because it gave me an extra year. And, you know, Jamia and Charlotte recruited me. I remember we were sitting at Over Easy. And I'm like, oh yeah, so by the way, I'm ready to sign the paper whenever y'all are ready. And you know, I don't think I could have made a better decision for myself. I mean, it's just been an amazing year to spend it with these girls. They've been a blessing with such an amazing coaching staff who's known me since I was yay big. But it's really helped me grow as a person and step into like a leadership role that I never really felt comfortable in, maybe. And I don't know, you say if I did a good job or not. I don't know.
Unbelievable. Obviously, I'm tearing up over here. You
know, I think the big thing for me was I finished off my career with a refound love for the game. So I couldn't ask for a better ending, to be honest.
Thank you.
And there you go, Jamia Jackson and Vivian Overski. And again, you're playing college, you're playing any sport, you lose that passion, you lose something for the game. And when you hear that right there, Like that's man, it's crazy because it's crazy to me. Like when I'm out covering these games, I've told you like sports I played, especially World Cup coming up for soccer. And very annoyed there's no games here in Glendale, but that's neither here nor there. We can get to that later. We're gonna have Graham Winkworth on soon too, talking about that. I am gonna reach out to him and we'll talk about that. So, but yeah, it's one of those things where and she got to come here. So like she said, they're recruiting her, and they were talking. She's like, "Hey, by the way, I'll sign. Yeah, I'm ready to sign. So let's, I would have waited till my food came, or till the check came and they got the food. I know a lot of you appreciate that and aren't surprised, but nonetheless, but yeah, like Coach Jackson said there, man, and again, barring a schedule conflict, should be talking to Coach tomorrow. So that, yes, my friends, absolutely awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So again, stoked for them. Forks up to Coach Jackson and the team. I mean, again, it's a young team, my friends. Because you look at it, Karen Altori, who's from Israel. Okay, real quick, check this out. Because I talk about international. Check this out. You talk about the internationalists. Of just certain sports in general. It's insane what Coach Jackson has. But so you have Altori from Israel, Zlata Bartonus from France, Carson Evans, well, she's from Texas. And no jokes about Texas. Tempe Texan, Mr. Fight will not put up with that. And I will have to let him know if you make comments. And then you have Sarong Lim from Seoul, South Korea. You have Aya Nukbe from Almaty, Kazakhstan. And then Vivian, Ovruski is from San Jose, California. And yes, no, save your jokes. And then you have Sarah Svetak from Croatia. And then Lily Taylor is from Queensland, Brisbane, Australia. They did have the Aussie, oi, oi, oi chance going for her. And again, I know that's been around for a very long time. I will find out how long, but absolutely love that chant. Don't even know why, but just fun. It'll be fun, I don't know. Australia, hang out, be in Brisbane, all that good stuff. But anyway, and then Lithuania. So absolutely there. But, forks up to Coach and tennis. So yes, tomorrow, like I said, we should be talking to her. But here is, this is awesome. So friend of the show, Chris Cartman, as you guys know, his schedule is insane, but the publisher of Sun Devil Source, and ASU actually just released this too, because I got an email during the show and saw this, but ASU's football team recorded its highest APR, academic progress rate score. That's the academic progress rate, right? Its highest APR score of 997 in the 2024-2025 academic year, as determined by the NCAA. The football team's prior best score was 990 in 2014 and 2015. So look, Coach Dillingham talks about being a good person, being smart. Coach Dillingham has also been another. I wonder if he's getting like a percentage of from the Barrett Honors College. because he talks about obviously the Barrett Honors College as players. You got six players, 8 players, 8 players, and he said only going to have more there. So yes, the Barrett Honors College. So that is absolutely awesome. So yes, 2024, 2025, the academic progress rate, APR, highest in ASU football history, 997, man. Forks up, getting it done on the field, getting more dominant on the field, and of course, crushing it in the classroom like they talk about. We're going to mic drop on that. Thanks to back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball for always reminding me it is hashtag our state. And with that 997 school down south, that is for you. You know that. So it is hashtag our state. I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And you guys know it, as always. Go Devils, yes. But most importantly, forks up.
I went to Arizona State.
Right.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Through play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scatterbo. Scatterbo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterbo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Of this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the track. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries a. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.